Hello trainers and welcome to our brand new video. My name is Pablo AKA Tablemon and today we're going to be playing with a brand new Dragapult Vmax deck that you can build with your new shiny Dragapult Vmax from the Shining Fate set. So let's jump into a deck list and then into some games to showcase the deck, shall we? Let's go! Alright, so we have our full deck list right here with our 4-4 line of this beautiful shiny Dragapult Vmax. Look at that card, it's so nice to see. And we have the attack shred doing 60 damage, allows us to do the damage no matter what, right? No matter any effects on our opponent's Pokemon, so we can bypass annoying Centavis and the Decidueyes and Alterias and all of that I'm sure you've seen running around. And we're gonna be utilizing Max Phantom as well to do 130 damage and place 5 damage counters on our opponent's bench Pokemon in any way we like. So spreading the damage and making sure we can attack the right Pokemon, target them down, and essentially set them up for future knockouts will be very, very important. Now, this deck is fairly simple to build if you have access to the Trainer's Toolkit codes as well. They include the Dedenne checks that you want to use for the Dedenne change ability to increase the consistency of your deck, being able to search or to discard your hand, and draw 6 cards. And we can also find these shiny Crobat V codes on PoTown, which provide us with the Crobat with the Dark Acid ability, which is a staple in the current standard format and will surely be in the future. So if you buy this card, then you'll be pretty much set for the next at least 2 years pretty much. Dark Acid allows you to draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. It doesn't discard your hand like the Dedenne, so in some situations it is the preferable Pokemon. Now we also have access to 4 Jirachis, 2 Zigzagoons, and 1 Giratina that we can reutilize through Scoop Up Net, being able to reutilize those abilities in order to deny special energy with Dimension Breach, or add extra damage to our damage output with Headbutt Tantrum, and even reutilize Stellar Wish over and over so that we have access to trainer cards that we need to set up, find our Pokemon, and find our energy. Now the deck utilizes a consistent engine with 4 Professor's Research, discard your hand, draw 7 cards. Getting access to 7 cards is pretty impactful, and we also have 4 Marnie so that both players shuffle their hands into their deck, to the bottom of their deck, and we draw 5, our opponent draws 4, so that way we are able to disrupt them, right? We want to take away their resources, their big hands, especially after they take a big knockout on one of our Dragapult Vmaxes. And finally, the 3 Boss's Orders allows us to remember that pinging and that damage that I was talking about to the bench with Dragapult's attack. Well, the Boss's Orders allows us to make sure that we utilize that damage in the most effective way that we can, so that if the active Pokemon has, like, I don't know, 50 HP left, we don't need to deal 130 damage. We can send it to the bench, bring something else up, and then place the damage counters right there, getting that knockout but also maximizing the damage that we deal elsewhere. Quick Pulse and Pokemon Communication will help us find the right Pokemon at the right time. Switches and the Escape Rope will help us with the Scoop Up Nets to make sure that we have our Dragapult ready to go. And we are playing 2 of the Energy Spinners, which is essentially a searchable energy by Jirachi, right? Usually on turn 1, your ideal setup is to attach an energy to Dragapult, so playing these 2 Energy Spinners, it's almost as if we're playing 11 total energy, but we're also thinning the deck, and we can also essentially Stellar Wish for an energy if that's what we're missing. Finally, we have 2 Power Plants to shut off the ability of Jirachi GX from our opponent's Pokemon that is being played heavily now in Mew 3 decks, and also in Urshifu decks to remove the Psychic Weakness. We want to turn off that ability and make sure we can attack Urshifu and Mewtwo for weakness. Finally, we have our 4 Horror Energy, where if this is attached to a Psychic Pokemon, whenever it takes damage, you place 2 damage counters back. So it's a little bit of extra damage that might come in useful depending on what we are up against. So let's jump into the ladder, into the standard ladder, and let's see what we go up against, and let's have some fun. Right, so we're going to be looking for our first opponent right here. Let's take a look at what we are up against. We do have a pretty bad Eternatus matchup, but that's pretty much it in terms of like really horrible matchups, because, and we're not super worried about that because the popularity of Urshifu makes it so that it's just not very common anymore. So our opponent sends us a friendly hello, recognizing us probably. We send a hello back, and our hand, it's not like fantastic, but we have energy, right? And that's basically all you want. And now I have 2 energies. I do see immediately, I do play 5 psychic energies in this list. So I already know that 3 of my prize cards are psychic energy, right? Remember, we played 4 Jirachi. We know that 1 Jirachi is prized. We played 2 Zigzagoon, so 1 Zigzagoon is prized. So that's 5 prizes figured out. And then we play 4 Dragapults, so that means we prized the Dragapult, right? We've already figured out all our prize cards quite quickly. Fairly easy because 3 of those ended up being energies, right? So here's the thing. I could like burn the energy spinner but not grab the energy, and then I could delay change, right? That is a possibility. However, because I know I prize 3 energies and I only play 9, that means there's only 5 energy left in my deck. So I think it's much better to guarantee that I get an energy next turn with this energy spinner than risking it and then failing to get an energy attachment. Attaching energy every single turn is very crucial for this deck. And Victini Vmax is definitely a sort of a problem. It's really good that we have the initiative and we can get the first attack off into the Victini Vmax, but it's definitely, in the long run, it will be a little tough to win this match. I think, because if we think about the damage and the maths, right, Victini Vmax, as we see on screen, has 310 HP, right? So I hit for 130, I hit for 130, that's 260, that's not a KO. Whereas they can hit me for 220 with the Vmax, and then hit me for 220 again, and then I'm dead. So that's a little scary, not gonna lie. My opponent getting a pretty decent start right here. Now we do have a bunch of options though, to get a one-shot or to apply pressure and to bypass the Victini Vmax and get like extra prizes on the bench. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see what we do here. My opponent does find the Air Balloon, so they will be able to utilize Fleur Starter, which is definitely what you want to do going second. Alright, Fleur Starter will allow my opponent to attach extra energies. Up to 3, as many as he wants, but up to 3. Chooses to use the Giant Hearth, discarding a fire, will be able to grab 2 more fires. As long as I get turned to Dragapult, I'm pretty happy, right? I'm generally pretty happy. Look, I can reach out. I can reach out to my opponent's cards. Maybe like trying to mess up his prices. I'm just being silly, waiting for my turn. Alright. So this, seeing that Charizard GX being discarded also now tells me that they are playing a copy of Mewtwo, right? However, seeing that they're up against Dragapult, they're probably not going to bother with it. Okay. Now there's also the threat of Heatran GX. That's also potentially problematic. And now, with this hand, I did top deck a Marnie, right? I have all 4 Pokecoms and all 4 Dragapult Vmaxes. So I do fancy my chances of hitting the Vmax. And because I top decked the Marnie, I'm just gonna go ahead and discard the Giratina because my opponent's not playing any special energy, I don't think. I will establish another Dragapult for now onto the bench, and then I'm gonna go ahead and Marnie my opponent's hand away, and also mine, looking for that Dragapult Vmax, which we do find. Very nice. Very nice. So I'm glad I did the conservative play, and I did it mostly because I saw that that my opponent would or rather that I figured out my prize cards really quickly. Okay, so doing some quick math, sorry, that's why I was hesitating. Doing some quick math. I have 5 damage counters to place, right? I have no horror energy, so I can't factor that into account. So I can place 1 damage counter onto a Reshisard, and that means 2 attacks of 130 is enough to KO this guy. And then with 4 damage counters here, I'm only missing 1 damage counter. to then 2-hit KO the Victini Vmax, which I can access through the Galarian Zigzagoon, so I think it's okay, right? I definitely got the least useful price card. I wish I had gotten an energy instead of the Dragapult V. I'll be able to set up another Dragapult Vmax or even find the Zigzagoon to pressure the Victini and threaten the 2-hit KO. However, my opponent, okay, that's an interesting choice. I feel like it's a wrong one though. Like, I'm happy with it. I'm happy that my Dragapult Vmax is clean, because now I can actually choose to avoid benching anything else, right? Or like, as soon as I bench a Zigzagoon, I need to pick it up. That way I force my opponent to go through 2 more Dragapult Vmaxes. So actually this price ends up working out nicely, as long as I can get an energy attachment this next turn. And with only 4 energies left in my deck, I'm not so sure that's gonna be possible. Now, looking at this and how my opponent's setting up, if they set up the 300 damage attack for the Heatran, I could be in trouble, right? For now though, I did get this scoop up net. Is that worth it then? No, I honestly don't think finding... Should I Marnie here? My opponent does have a huge hand, but no, I'm just gonna research. I really need energy, and I do find it. That's fantastic. That is actually fantastic. And so I guess I'm gonna keep the the Zigzagoon as a surprise, sort of, right? I'll just pull it off next turn, but my hand also isn't that great. Like, I'm missing Boss, right? Boss's Orders is the card that I hope I can get. Okay, so there is the Heatran. So my opponent will be able to one-shot my Dragapult Vmax, but I'm honestly okay with that. Well, actually, no, I'm not okay with it. Oh, they found the Fan of Waves. So another issue with the basic energies being priced is that my opponent just delayed my attack right there. So that's gonna be the game. I haven't lost the game, but I will lose the game. I know I will lose the game because of that. So if I had gotten a basic energy from my price cards and I had a basic energy down, I wouldn't have been affected by the Fan of Waves. Because now I can't utilize the Max Phantom attack. I can only utilize the Shred attack. And my opponent will be at 1 price card. There's the Hot Burn. And sure, my opponent has committed a ton of energy to the Heatran, but that's okay. He only needs 1 more for the Victini. So that's definitely a problem. Alright. So I don't think... Well, the Stadium could matter. All of these cards are actually good. Alright. I think I have to go for a Crobat for 6, right? If I'm gonna win, I need to reset Stamp and Boss's Orders this turn, basically. So we gotta go for this. Alright. Alrighty. Get me Boss. No, that's not Boss. Okay. I'm gonna keep the Quick Ball. That seems alright, actually. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the Jirachi. I will go ahead and Quick Ball away the Jirachi, I guess. And get myself the Daniel ready. And so I'm gonna Crobat for 5 and then Dede Change for 6. I am looking for... Reset Stamp. That is not Reset and Boss. I got neither, however. I got neither. Alright, I think I'm gonna give up. I might have to give up on the Boss play. No, I have to go for the Boss play. right? I mean, the most important card is the reset stamp. That's for sure. I don't know, this is just a really weird spot. I really want to 7, 8, 9. So they have 10 energies. This deck usually plays 11. It's just I can't play Power Plant and Deadly Change. So it is what it is. Okay, I did get the boss, but I didn't get the reset stamp. So which one is more important? And I got 2 energies, which if I end up discarding, I'll be in a lot of trouble. So I'm just trying to figure out how the heck do I win this game? I don't think I can. If I hit for 60 more, they'll have 70. I would need boss on this, and no, there's no way. Well, okay, so what if I go boss, hit for 60? Actually, yeah, that's the play. That is the play. Oh, so the damage, because of the thing. It's okay. So I'll do this, right? So I need to knock out this Victini Vmax, or I need to force him to retreat. So next turn, if they don't have boss, I mean, if they have boss, they win, right? It comes down to that. That's probably Eldegoss for boss for the game. But just in case they don't, then I could go attach, KO the Victini, put 1 damage counter on the Dene with a Scoop Up Net, and that would be the game. But they do have bosses orders, so that's the game. I mean, the Fan of Waves really set me behind right there. Since the very beginning, with so many energy prize, the weird starts, it wasn't looking great. Victini is definitely a tough matchup. That one shot out of the blue with the Fan of Waves is what killed me. If my opponent hadn't used Fan of Waves, then maybe I would have had a chance, because then I wouldn't have needed to use boss. Maybe I could have just gone ahead and researched. I don't know. It was weird. Yeah, it was a weird situation, and the cards just didn't end up favoring me at all, especially the energies. There was so much pressure on energies for me since the very beginning. Yeah, since the very beginning. All right. So now we have a decent start, as long as we can Stellar Wish for a quick ball. Otherwise, our hand is pretty bad. And we also gave out 2 mulligans, so it's never a good thing. So we're not drawing super hot right now. Okay, top decking the Pokemon means now we can get either Quick Ball or Pokecom here, and we get the Quick Ball. So you can't ask for much more than that, right? Can't ask for much more than that. Okay, so realistically, with this hand, I could end up. So this is Rowlet Rillaboom, right? My opponent, even if he's playing Mewtwo, he's not gonna be using Mewtwo. So once he sees the Dragapult, so I think it's safe to discard the Power Plant. I won't be able to stop the Dene, but I think it's okay that I won't be able to. It's not the biggest of deals. And this way, I could potentially, like right after they evolve into Rillaboom, I could immediately start pressuring them. That would be nice. We'll see. Yeah, we shall see. I do need an energy though for that to happen. If that doesn't happen off of the Stellar Wish, then I'll be forced to research, and then we'll see how we can pressure, right? We'll see how we can pressure our opponent's side of the field. All right. So we do see the Call Energy attached on turn 1. Very nice. There's the Grookey. We do see a Wondrous Labyrinth, so right off the bat, getting punished by my Power Plant discard. That's gonna definitely put a ton of pressure to my energies. With Giratina, I can slow them down too. So maybe that's what I'll do, especially now that I top deck the Giratina essentially. Yeah, I actually think that's what I'm gonna do. Now go ahead and Pokecom. Get the Giratina. I do have access to my other power plant, but drawing one is just not gonna be easy. They could counter their own stadium, for sure. So now I'm gonna go ahead and Stellar Wish. I think I'm gonna Marnie to be more conservative with that boss. And then I would like to do damage though, for sure. Some amount of damage would be nice, even if it's just Bite for 30. And then deny that huge hand, right? Deny that huge hand. I actually won't be able to do any damage so far. Let's go ahead and Stellar Wish again. Okay. So I do find the spinner. I mean, getting the attachment is definitely important. Can't believe they had the raw stadium. It's okay though. It's okay. So I could Bite for 30, which I honestly think is relevant. So I will go ahead and do it. I'm not like super ecstatic about it, but I will go ahead and do it. Go ahead and Bite, 2 energies for 30 damage. Definitely not something you'd expect in the current metagame. If my opponent goes ahead and counters his own stadium, then we'll be in quite a bit of trouble. But it was out of my hands, right? I discarded a card making an assumption that they would play Chaotic Swells mostly, but turns out they were not. They were playing the Wondrous Labyrinth along with a Chaotic Swell probably. There's the Guzma Hala, so they will counter their own stadium. Now we need it to be priced. So you can see, like, I had no information. They don't grab the stadium. They actually do not grab the stadium, so that's good news. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So my opponent delayed us, we delayed them. They probably priced their Chaotic Swell, so I will attach the energy. I will find the Vmax, which is fantastic. And so now that 30 damage plus 130 will be 160, and then they heal 30, they go to 130 after they Calming Hurricane, but then with the Horror Energy, they are knocked out. So it all ends up working out. I actually get the stadium, but I'm not gonna use it because I don't want them to use Tropical Hour GX to reset all my energy. So in the end, it ends up working out pretty nicely for us. It ends up working out pretty nicely for us. They delayed me, but they also delayed themselves. They couldn't counter their own stadium to punish that. So it's an interesting dynamic, right? And with no, like, for example, if I had seen from my opponent's deck list and an open deck list tournament that they were playing the Wondrous Labyrinth, if I had that information previously, I would have been more careful with my stadium, right? But because I didn't know that, I took I guess I took an educated risk, or I made an educated, I don't know. I took a risk and obviously it didn't pay off. Now they pinched the Mewtwo, which is very surprising. Honestly, very, very surprising that they did that, because then that gives me essentially 3 prizes. That gives me 3 prizes very easily, and now I know that they have whatever other stadium they play priced, and I have my power plant in hand. So it's just like everything's settling pretty nicely. Unless they bluffed and they actually did have the stadium, but they chose not to get it for some reason, which I would be really surprised, right? Really, really surprised. All right. So they find Malolana. That was definitely not something that I was considering would happen. So now we're in a lot of trouble. Now I wish I had a boss to KO the Rillaboom. Not gonna happen though. And now we're back to square one. All right. And we know they have another Malolana in their hand, which is really bad news. So because of that, I think I'm actually just gonna play the Scoop Up Net. I mean, not the Scoop Up Net, the Reset Stamp, because I don't want them to heal. I really just don't want them to heal. Alright, so I'll research. If they GX attack, there's nothing I can do to stop that. There's actually nothing I can actually do to stop that. So Alright. And down all 4 scoop up nets already. What? I am down all 4 scoop up nets already. That's rough. Because I was thinking with a double ping on the Rillaboom, after placing 5 damage counters, I could knock it out next turn if they choose not to GX attack, which seems like they aren't. Ooh. I mean, I still have access to Giratina, so that weakness card energy is not scary. But they did get the Alola again. Alright. So it's gonna come down to, do they get their stadium off of their prize cards? It's gonna come down to that. Ugh, I'm in so much trouble. I am actually in so much trouble. So, well, actually... Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I forgot, because they attach there, but they don't need to, yeah. Oof. Rough situation. So they're down 2 Malolanas, they're down 1 Herbaloon. My energy got reset. Yeah. This is not looking good at all. I got the energy back. So let me Stellar Wish right here. Sure, I'll keep the switch. So I kind of wonder if I hit for 60 here, it sets up the game almost perfectly. I would need my 3rd boss to finish the game. Because what I could do, what I'm thinking is, I go boss on this, hit for 60. And then hopefully they whiff the turn, right? Being down 2 Malolanas and 1, and their Herbaloon. Yeah, I think that's my plan right here. So I'm gonna go boss on the Rillaboom. I'm gonna switch, and I'm gonna do Shred. It will also be a big tell if they play Chaotic Swell immediately or not. Like, in case they did get it off their prize cards or not. That is going to be a pretty important tell right here. And they're not playing it immediately, so that's good. Because these decks, I feel like, have been going greedy, and they're not playing switches anymore. They're just relying on Malolana and Herbaloon, so we'll see. If I get a free turn here, that would be insanely good. Insanely good. Because they've already GX'd, so if next turn I can go... I mean, I guess they're going for their other Herbaloon, if they have it. Yeah, they do have it. Okay, so no stadium though. No stadium. We know they have another energy. So they are going to heal. Okay. This thing 3-hit KOs me. So can I play with the knowledge that there's probably no stadium? Does that help me in any way? If I attack here, I still need I need to find a horror energy though. For sure. And then if I go boss and quick ball for Giratina and take 4 prize cards and put 3 damage counters on the Dedenne, if I find my other boss, I would win. But how would I possibly find my other boss? That's the question. Because I can't Daddy change clearly. I mean, yeah. If they have boss, they win then, right? So is my best bet to just try and KO this? That might be my best bet. That honestly might be my only chance here. They could then KO me with a Grookey. Wait, what does Grookey do? Yeah, they could beat for a KO. I think I'm gonna go for the fancy Mewtwo play. It's not like guaranteed or anything, but I will get 4 prizes, which is nice. with another boss I have game, right? So I place 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. And then maybe if they don't have boss, I can buy myself a turn, but we'll see. When I do get Switch for Jirachi, I do get Quick Ball, double Quick Ball. That's really good for Crobat, right? That is one of my. I have one Switch left though. I have one Switch left because I have no Scoop Up Net. So if I switch, I could just retreat into Jirachi actually. That's probably better and save the Switch. We'll see. Okay, we get Marnied. That could just give me the boss. Oof. Yes! Let's go! Let's go. I can't believe I got boss. I can't believe Marnie helped me. That's so awesome. Let's go. Wow, what a match. What an absolutely insane game. That was crazy. I did not think I was going to win that game. There were so many instances where I was like, nah, I should just give up. But hey, big brain maths with Dragapult, planning to win. Ended up working out really, really nicely, right? Really, really nicely. So there you go. Yeah, easy to build, hyper competitive Dragapult deck. Well, not hyper competitive, competitive deck, and it's really fun, like cracking your head. How do I place the damage counters? Where do I place them? As you can see in that match in particular, every single damage counter that I placed mattered so much, right? The 1 damage counter on the Mewtwo let me KO it afterwards with 260 damage. The damage that I placed on the Rillaboom ended up letting me, and the 60 damage that I dealt ended up letting me, setting up that perfect attack with 2 more damage counters and then 3 on the Dedenne to then finish off the Dedenne. So super crazy game, super exciting game. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to our PoTown channel. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Tablemon, and thank you so much, trainers. Until next time.